I'm officially hired as a package handler at FedEx. My orientation date is tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm nervous and excited. Nervous because it is a physically demanding job. I am not sure how I'm going to handle that, but I do genuinely want to try and stick with it. I know that good things can come from this. It will help me pay off my debt faster. I'm going to be paid $18.85 an hour, and it is a part-time position. I will be working a minimum of 20 hours a week. That will be about $1,200 extra a month that will be going towards my debt payment. So I am really excited about this opportunity. I cannot wait to see how it goes.
I got paid on Wednesday morning. My check was gone Wednesday morning. So come DoorDash with me because I need some groceries and some household items. This is my gas starting out. This order is for $7.45. This order is for 14 something. It's a little further out of my zone, but it's been slow and I don't accept small orders. So yeah. This order is for $15 and so freaking beautiful. I love when I get to pick up flowers. And this is how we are ending. I made $40, well, $37, and then I had a few dollars left on my DoorDash card. So this was an okay trip, I think.
I am so tired of working from home. I'm not. I've been able to more than double my salary in the last 2 years. What? How? Like, I got a regular salary increase, but with inflation, I'm not making much more money. Well, not me. I'm overemployed, okay? And that means a lot of people with corporate jobs are doing it. I have 2 full-time jobs now. And I'm making $210,000 a year instead of $100,000 too. Okay, I have so many questions. How do you have time for that? And are you even allowed to? And also why? The key is that they're both remote, right? So I don't have to do too much work. I just do the basics of my job and don't go too hard. And I guess it's not really allowed, but I just don't tell anyone. Except you, I guess. But don't you feel bad? Listen, after all the job cuts and just general stress corporations have caused people since the beginning of 2020, who cares if I'm playing the system too? And why would I work really hard at one job for one salary when I could work just hard enough at two? Interesting. I guess that is one way to look at it. I don't really want that type of stress, but thanks for telling me. What do you think about the overemployed movement? Let us know in the comments.
One job, one paycheck? Not anymore. Some remote workers are quietly earning 7 figures and their bosses have no idea. This trend is called overemployment, and it is quietly reshaping what work looks like in the latter half of 2025. Now, here's how it works. Remote work has really opened the door to flexibility, and some professionals are using that flexibility to layer multiple jobs. 2, 3, sometimes even 4 full-time roles. They're managing tasks across companies, leveraging digital tools, and creating their own portfolio of jobs, so to speak. For some people, it's about maximizing income, of course. Others do it for financial security, especially in an uncertain job market. And yes, a few are earning well into the 6 or 7 figure dollar amount. But here's the flip side. This is not for everyone. Overemployment can blur boundaries. It can cause burnout and really raises questions about ethics and sustainability with the companies that you work for. Still, it does highlight something bigger. People are redefining what one job means for them and proving that work can be designed your way. So, what do you think? Would you ever try stacking multiple jobs, or is one job already more than enough for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, is this a strategy you could get behind, or is it burnout waiting to happen? Let us know.
So more Americans are working 2 jobs right now than at almost any point on record. And the part that should actually alarm you isn't the number of people doing it, it's how little it's actually getting them. The Bureau of Labor Statistics just tracked over 9 million Americans holding multiple jobs, the highest figure since they started measuring this back in 1994. That's not a slow climb either. That's a fresh record breaking a record that was only set months earlier.
Once I picked up a second remote job, I no longer had the energy and time to be doom scrolling, aka shopping, and that has helped me save so much money. If you have enough energy to be scrolling for hours, I'm telling you, you have enough energy to go get a second job. With this second job, I've been able to bring in an extra $700 a week that I would have otherwise been spending.
Back in the UK for a month, coming from Bali, and one thing I've noticed, everything's just 50 quid. Put 50 quid in the car yesterday, it's gone. I have drove to Wales though, but 50 quid every time I go to the shops and get stuff for tea. By the time I've got to the till, it's 50 quid. If I go out for food, even if it's breakfast, it's 50 quid. It's just 50 quid, 50 quid, 50 quid. Like, in Bali, it's like you could go out for breakfast and it'd be 15 quid. You put £5 every 2 weeks in your bike on fuel. Like, I cannot deal with these prices. The last thing, I'm going to leave this one with you. I went into Starbucks and bought 2 coffees and a really bad ginger shot. It was £16. Like, what is going on?
And it's not just people picking up a few extra hours somewhere. The number of Americans working 2 genuinely full-time jobs at the same time just hit the second highest level ever recorded, sitting right behind an all-time peak set only weeks before that. 2 full 40-hour weeks stacked on top of each other inside a single life.
Look at this. Oh, perfect. Oh my God.
Isn't it great?
Chris.
I know, it's my dream.
I have goosebumps everywhere.
I have a full-time job, make well over 6 figures, but do I have an interview for a part-time remote gig to do when my day job ends? I sure do, because the way these layoffs are rolling in and folks talking about a recession, I am not about to get got by this economy. And just got this in the mail, just in case I need to switch careers, because I am not about to go without a check. I'm about to start studying now.
So I'm walking around Costco here and I'm noticing these prices. For example, these Madras lentils, $15.99. I bought those a year ago for $6.99. Let's look at what else we got going on here. Dang, this is the flour we were buying for $5.99 last year. We literally bought this chicken broth, $5.69, 2 months ago. And I keep getting told that we got, 6-7% inflation. You gotta be kidding me.
Here's the number that actually explains why nobody feels like this is working. Federal Reserve data shows people juggling multiple jobs earn about $1,000 more per year than people working just one job, comparing average totals of roughly $57,000 against $56,000. $1,000 for an entire second set of hours, a second commute, a second boss, a second set of deadlines eating into whatever's left of a day. That's not a typo, and it's not a rare exception. That's the actual average gap researchers found across the whole group. So think about what that means. Someone is trading their evenings, their weekends, their actual rest, for roughly $83 a month extra. And a lot of these are not people chasing something extra either. They're people trying to cover the basics that one paycheck used to cover on its own, the kind of ordinary life a single job used to be enough to support without much thought.
I am broke and I share my finances on the internet, so you can hopefully feel a little bit better about yourself and your situation. And today we're going to budget out my checking account, see how much just liquid cash I have to work with right now. I got paid last week, and then I'll get paid from TikTok in a few days, and then I'll get paid from my library job next week again. I thought I would just see how much cash I have to work with, and the numbers were astounding. So let's go over it together because you're going to be shocked just like I was. So in my checking account, I have $1,571, but we need to subtract everything that I spent on my credit cards because I spend all of my money on my credit cards and then pay my credit cards off in full every single month. On my MasterCard, I have spent $42, and then on my Discover card, I have spent $0, so we're off to a strong start. On my Amex card, I have spent $320. And then the kicker is my Chase card. I have spent $1,209 on my Chase card. When I first saw that number, I thought that had to be completely wrong. I went back through my statements and I did all the adding and subtracting, and it's actually right. We've just had to buy so much stuff for the house lately. When we use my Amazon account, we use my card, and it's a lot of stuff's been going on. So I did actually spend $1,209 on my Chase card. Some of those are Amazon returns that we have to do soon, so I will get some of it back, but I was still shocked. So if we subtract all of those numbers from what's in my checking account, this is how much money I am left with. Literally $0. A goose egg. An actual $0. I'm not negative, so that's a plus. I'm not negative, but literally $0. So I have zero liquid cash to work with.
until I get paid or until I do those Amazon returns. It's okay. We're going to survive. I get paid. Everything will be fine. But it's just, it blows my mind that it literally came to $0. So I have no money right now. Good thing my coffees are free every single morning. I have not been eating out. I will not be buying anything extra. And I'm at $0 right now. Pray for me.
Hi, you guys. I'm driving into my second day of work back from maternity leave after being off since pretty much December before Christmas, which is actually insane. And the mom guilt is definitely starting to trickle in. I'm feeling so bad about leaving my kids to go to work. But the thing is, like, I love my job and I'm like so excited to go in and see my clients and do their hair and catch up. I'm feeling guilty that I'm so excited to do that. I need to know, how are we coping with the mom guilt, especially the moms who actually love their job and are excited to go to work, because I feel like that's a different kind of guilt. Of course, I want to be with my children as much as possible, but I also like love my job and I worked hard to get where I am. And I feel like that's not something that I necessarily like want to give up. Yesterday was my first official day back and I worked a long day and I picked up my kids like probably around like 5:30. We went to the park and then my son fell asleep at the park and he was pretty much out for the rest of the night. And I feel like I did not get to spend any time with him. And it just makes me sad because I feel like he's gonna forget who I am, even though he probably won't, but that's where my head is going. Anyways, I just want to make this video because I feel like there's a shortage of representation of working moms on this app who actually like to work and like their job and are choosing to work because that is just what they want to do. Would love to know what makes you feel better when you get in these moments of like feeling guilty for not spending enough time with your kids, because that's where my head's been the last couple days. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.
It's not just workers without a degree either, if that's what you're picturing. Over half of people holding multiple jobs now have a college degree, and that share has been climbing steadily for years. The idea that a degree and a single steady job adds up to a stable life just doesn't hold the way it used to for a lot of these households. Part of why this is happening comes down to hours, not just pay. Employers pulling back on scheduled hours during a softer job market pushes people to fill the gap somewhere else. So a second job isn't always about wanting more. Sometimes it's about a first job quietly giving less than it used to just a year or two ago. One government contractor described picking up food delivery work after a weeks-long shutdown left him without backup income, saying the job market right now just feels confusing and that he doesn't want to give up any source of income he can still hold on to, even a small one. And almost a third of people working a side job already believe this isn't temporary. They expect they'll need the extra work indefinitely, not just to get through a rough patch, which tells you people themselves don't think this resolves anytime soon. I don't think this is really a story about ambition or hustle culture the way it sometimes gets framed online. I think it's a story about one paycheck quietly stopping being enough for a lot of households, and two paychecks are barely closing that gap, not actually solving it the way people hoped it would when they took the second job on. So tell me, are you working more than one job right now, or has someone close to you had to start? Let me know down in the comments. I want to know how common this actually is in your own circle. And if this is the kind of thing you want to stay ahead of, that's exactly what we cover here at Cost Crisis. So stick around and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.